Hi, Virgo. This is Jeffrey. This is Red Color. This is your reading for 2022. How exciting. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I do daily readings with Nancy Jean. I do monthly readings. I do yearly readings, etc., etc. There's even more. I can't remember all the readings that I do. I do weekly readings as well. So weekly readings I do by sign. You have to be a member to access those. It's $2.99 a month. Buy me a cup of coffee. Commercial free. So if you'd become a member, I would really appreciate it. I also offer private readings. I also offer IET, which is a healing modality, which can help you to move energy. I have a website, brightcolor.com, where I offer handmade scarves, t-shirts, etc., as well as astrology t-shirts, which are really cool. And I'm going to be doing a lot of new videos. I don't know what they are yet. I have an idea. I have an inkling, but I don't want to say it in case I don't, show up with it. So my station or my channel or whatever you want to call it is going to be evolving. It's going to be evolving this year. Very exciting. Okay, Virgo, let me see what's going on. I'm a Virgo rising, so a lot of times the Virgo reading really hits it right on the money for me. So I hope it's a fantastic reading. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we begin. All right, here we go. That's interesting. Okay, so we begin with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is like the empath. She's also really, really nurturing, loving, kind. She's mommy. She's mommy more than the other queens are. She's like the soft, loving, bake a pie, kiss your boo-boo mommy. That's who she is. And she's very intuitive. She's deeply intuitive. She feels you, right? She feels you. Then we get death. Really interesting. So death is really about, it's a card of Scorpio. This is really about, this is interesting. You get the card of Libra also, and the card of Scorpio. Really interesting. So those are the two signs directly after you. So I feel like, even before I say anything else, it's like you're evolving into, you're taking on more energies that you haven't really taken on before. Maybe more of a sense of balance and more of a sense of the ability to transform, right? This is about transformation. This is not about death. This is about transformation. This is really about letting something that died die, letting something that no longer works be dead, and understanding that that experience and that situation has led to a new fertility, a new way of looking at things, a new it's a transformation. It's a transformation. Then we get justice. So justice is really about balance. It's about seeing things clearly. So I feel like there's this new, I think the clarity, some of the clarity now is going to come from intuition in a way it hadn't before. I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like, because it's balanced. So it's balanced between your mind, and I've said this to you before, you're very mercurial. You're ruled by Mercury. You're really about the way you see things in your mind, and the way you organize things is really a very intellectual, mind-based thing. But I think the transformation that death represents is really about inviting the Queen of Cups in, and inviting in a loving, nurturing, kind, compassionate mother. It's really inviting in the goddess. it's inviting in the goddess, and and inviting in the goddess in yourself, and having her temper, just being in your mind. That's really interesting. That's a hell of a beginning. It's a star. The star is about hope, inspiration, direction. It's about following your calling. It's about hearing, your soul's path. It's also about balance, right? This is also a card of balance, right? Because she has one foot in her emotion and her intuition, and one foot firmly planted on her knee, but one foot firmly planted on the ground. And I just got this tremendous humility in her. There's this in this card, there's this humility, like really understand that you're part of the star family, right? You're part of the universe as a whole, and being down on one knee and like kind of, humbly accepting the gift of, being able to use your mind, and the gift of being able to use your intuition, and bringing it in humility, I think will really allow you to access it in a way that's very full. Balance again. So you get both cards, there are only 2 scales in the entire deck, and you get them both. You get them both. So this card is about giving and receiving. This is a very interesting card in that. I've interpreted this card. It's about perseverance. But this is also a card, it's a card of charity, right? So if you need something, expect that it'll show up, right? If you really need something, expect that it'll show up. And it's also a card of community. And this is about, it's not always just about charity. It's about giving and it's about receiving. And I think that's like the balance that, that like the mother wants you to like achieve. And that's the real transformation. The real transformation is, maybe as a Virgo, because Virgo is the card of service, is the sign of service. So maybe the energy is really about, I think the transformation here is really about having this balance between giving and receiving, so I think what's coming into play and what's coming into fruition, say, is more of a balance there. So maybe you're the type that just gives, and it's like, I don't want anything. Let me, I'll take care of you, but you don't take care of me. Or maybe, you expect a lot. I'm talking about like the past. Maybe it's like, well, I have it coming. And then, maybe the energy would be, I'm really blessed with what I have and I want to share it. And this isn't about money. It could be, but it's about whatever it is one has to share. Sometimes the most important thing that we share with one another is the ability to listen to one another, right? Sometimes that's the thing that is the most healing, right? Like if your friend has a problem or has an issue and you just take out time and turn off the phone and you're there and you listen, that's enormous. It's better than giving them the money in a way, and maybe, in the past, you've been a little like, oh, I feel like there's more of an incorporation of a balance, more of an incorporation of the balance. Looking really, really closely. It's interesting because this is the card of charity and this is the card of frugality. So I'm going to stand where I was. I think, if you're the type that's always like giving so much that, you leave yourself out, that is not balanced, right? And on the other hand, if you're the type that like, everyone's giving you and you're like, well, I don't really want to share anything, that's not balanced either. So I feel like you know, both of these came up for a reason with all the balance cards. So, you know, really being in the world is really about when you have to give, you give. And when people want to give to you, you humbly say, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm so grateful that thank you so much. Thank you. Instead of, oh, I don't need it. No. It's not even like if somebody's offering something to you, it's kind of like, you know, somebody gives you this weird gift and it's like, oh, thank you. Well, I wish you'd give me this instead. Well, that's not very gracious. New creative ideas. New creative ideas. Because I feel like if you're really more in the sense of giving and receiving, you know, new ideas are going to come. Lots of them. Lots and lots and lots of them. Very fertile. And, you know, if this is pushing your buttons, like if I'm telling you this and this is sort of pushing your buttons, sit in it. Sit in it. You know, like, so I do a meditation every day for many years. And so I sit in my heart and I extend love, right? And then the first thing I do is I go from my heart, I radiate love down to the earth, radiate. You don't give away the principle. It took me a long time to understand that. You don't take from the principle. It's like being an accountant. You don't take from the principle, you take from the interest, and that's what you give, right? So it's really about radiating the love down to the earth. And, you know, it's really easy to like radiate love down to the earth. You know, I think of flowers or butterflies or whatever. But then receiving it back has been a challenge. It's been a challenge. So like, this is the challenge. It's like, well, I need to learn how to receive, because that's part of the deal. That's that's being in the middle. That's walking both ends. That's being able to swim through the river. You know, you got to go like this and like that and like that and like this. Like, that's how it works. That's how it works. Because otherwise you're just there. Well, I'm always in the same place in the river. And eventually you're just going to sink. Like, it's really about moving with it. I think that's what to take in. That's what to take in. It's a whole new world. It's a fresh new way of looking at things. Giving and receiving. Receiving and giving. So I think a new balance is going to be struck. I think that's what's going on. And I think the balance is not only just giving and receiving, but I think the balance really comes back to the original cards, which is using your intellect, but also using your intuition, right? Because this is intellect, this is intuition, right? This is transformation, and the transformation is really about being in the middle of using your heart and your mind, combining, right? Your heart and your mind combining. And, you know, if that makes sense, and it makes sense emotionally, it makes sense physically, it makes sense intuitively. I think that's the marriage that's going to go on here. That's the marriage, and that's the new. That's the new. And that's what is important to like really encompass. Yeah. It's lovely. It's lovely. Blessings. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. Have a great 2022.